recently I did a video around leadership, and I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more. If you haven't seen it, check out our YouTube channel, check out our socials, it's all on there. So here's the thing. We talked about leadership. We talked about the concept of suffering, and how suffering allows you to put yourself in a situation where what happens when, let's say you use exercise, for example, because it's a very simple example, and most people get it. So if you go through exercise, if you train, maybe lift heavy weights, and maybe you go running, maybe you do any sort of activity that puts stress on your body, what happens is that you're going to hit a point, right? And you should want to hit a point where you are super vulnerable, where your mind hits a wall. You feel you hear your demons. You're face to face with them. You want to quit. You want to give up. You just want to go home. You want to run. You want to run back to comfort. Now, here's the thing: if you put yourself in a situation on a consistent basis where you get to your point, right? Not your teammate's point, not someone else's point, not your friends, your mums, your sisters, whatever, right? Your level. Because if you want to be a true leader, you need to get to your point and stop viewing other people's standards as your standard and drive your own. So let's say, again, let's go back and talk about, obviously, let's say you're going to the gym, your weights, you're lifting really heavy, or you're going for a run, and you hit that point where you're really vulnerable. Now, this is a beautiful place to be, and it's an important place to be, and I'll tell you why. Because most people, right, as a human condition, I don't care if you're an athlete, if you're a coach, if you're a business owner, a founder, whoever you might be, your mind is the same as everyone else. Your body is wired in the same way as everyone else. Now, what you've done, if you're an elite athlete, is you maybe have mastered that a little bit more and raised your standards to a specific level, let's say. But if you can continue to push that and continue to strive just 1% more, 1% more, 1% more, and you put yourself in this place where you are vulnerable, right? And you can stay in that place, you can suffer in that place and come through it. Now you've taken your life to a new level. Now you've taken your potential. Now you've taken what is known to you and what is possible to a completely different level. Now, why is that important? A few different reasons. One of these reasons is that you cannot lead someone else. You cannot have that energy, that king energy of leadership that is magnetic, that it creates influence to the people around you. Now, if you're a professional player of any sort of sport, in a team sport, this is something that you should really pay close attention to and really understand and say, if I bring myself to a certain level, I'm going to have an influence, because everyone else around you is going to look to you. It's going to look to you how you respond, what do you do in this moment when we're in real trouble and everyone is a little bit insecure. There's a new circumstance and maybe it was unforeseen, and they're going to look around to find people of certainty, to find people with that energy of leadership. And if they look to you, what are they going to find? And on a personal level for you, the more you can increase that energy, the more you can make yourself of that, the higher your value goes. And I'm talking, I gave you that example for sport, but it's the same for business. As a coach, if you're coaching people, your success is not so much about the skills and what you know and what modalities you use or what little journaling prompt you give people. No, it's about who you are as a person. It's about the energy with which you show up, and by you putting yourself in these situations of getting real vulnerable, it's going to give you the best chance. It's going to give you the best chance to develop that. And again, you must, as I'm talking about this, I'm very much, my intention is that you understand your own level. Don't compare yourself to someone else, because you know your level, and it's about time that we start playing to our own standard and raise our own standard and be very inward looking. So, okay, what am I truly capable of? If Frank, Bob, Johnny, Susie, and Margaret, can do, can go to this level, do not conform to their level. Conform to your level and raise that level. Now, the second thing around why wanting to get to points and continue to stretch, and I often talk about the art of stretching, and I'll probably cover another video around this, but when you stretch and you get vulnerable and you really push the envelope and you go that little step further, the other thing that happens is that your ego is out the door. All of a sudden you're humbled. All of a sudden you're face to face with your own biggest bitch self, and you're face to face with your demons, and where really the block is. And the thing is, when we truly get vulnerable and the ego is out the door, all of a sudden we don't have those coping mechanisms that help you get through on a day-to-day basis. You don't have that momentum. You don't feel good. You don't, you're not able to think, super logically. Why? Because you're emotional. Why? Because you're at the very ground level zero. That the more we go into it, and the more we familiarize ourselves with it, the more we can shine a light into that, dark dungeon down there, the more powerful you will be. And most people never get to this point, and this could really give you an advantage. So I'm sharing this because I know how valuable it can be. The more you can shine a light into those bits of darkness around you, the more awareness you will have about you. The more awareness you have, the more you can understand. You say, okay, I know that in the 89th minute, I know that in the last minute of the game, I know that when all is said and done, when my bank account is this is what's going to come up. And if you know that, you can work on that. And if you can work on that, you can become powerful. And if you can become powerful, you can become unstoppable. So that when, maybe we don't have, sunny days all the time, and we know that. But when those days with cloud, with rain, with hail, with wind do come, that's when it counts. That's when the call will go out. And that's where the true leaders and true kings, right, will rise, because that's when you need it most. And we need to prepare for those mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and overall. This is why this king energy stuff is so real, and it's so powerful, and it's so valuable, that it doesn't matter whether you're in sport, business, relationships. It's the same thing. We just apply it to your discipline. We apply it to your area of expertise. So, and again, this is a video where I'm talking and bringing stuff to you and talking to you about it. If you wanted to dive deep into this, and if you wanted to really elevate your performance like never before, and you're ready to stand out and be a person of influence, to be a person of leadership, to be a person of value, and you're ready for your king self to truly come out and rule the world, rule your world, then shoot me a message, because it's going to completely transform every single part of you. So shoot me a message below. I'll chat to you guys very soon.